Okay, I'm gonna get this video started off. Today we're gonna learn how to make a DD-WRT installed router, a router installed with DD-WRT, and we're gonna learn how to make that from a router into an access point. How this is done is you plug a Ethernet cord from your main router, one of the LAN ports on that main router, into one of the LAN ports again onto your second router, which is now going to become an AP. So we're going to check our IP. We're going to type in IP config. The default for most routers is 192.168.1.1, so we're going to navigate to that. If you haven't flashed a DD-WRT, you should. It will increase a lot of stability. I can't necessarily say performance because things have changed, and Broadcom has pushed out a lot of updates that DD-WRT just simply doesn't have. I'm going to go ahead and set my username to root, my password to admin. I've seen a lot of YouTube videos that don't necessarily cover everything, and that's what I'm going to try to do today in this video. As you can see, I'm doing this on the Linksys E2500, which is a router unfortunately halfway supported by DD-WRT. The 2.4 gigahertz works, but not the 5.8, which is a little bit of a bummer, but it's okay because I run Tomato on this one. But I'm using this just for educational purposes, and that's what I'm going to show you guys on. So as you can see, it does have 64 megabytes of RAM, which is a decent amount. My RT-N66U has 256 megabytes of RAM, and it works perfectly. This one has 60 KB of NVRAM, and that's a decent amount. My RT has a 64. It's a little bit better, but not by much. So first off, really, we're going to just go ahead and disable the WAN connection type on the router. You can leave the router name as DD-WRT, or you can change it. It really depends on what you want to do. I'm just going to go ahead and use that for now. My main router has an IP of, DHCP pool goes from 10, 10, 22 all the way to 50. So I'm going to go ahead and put this to 50. And my gateway is 10, 10, 21 because that's my main router. And we're going to go ahead and disable DHCP completely because we're not going to need that. My personal preference is to disable NTP because I do have a main router running that, and I don't necessarily need it on the router. So we're going to go ahead and save it. That's all we're doing on this basic setup tab. Then we're going to head over to the advanced routing tab. We're going to go ahead and change from a gateway to a router and save that. Now I have all N devices, but if you have B, G, and N devices, go ahead and leave it on mixed. But for myself, I mostly have N devices, so I'm going to go ahead and just leave it as test AP. And my main router works on channel 8. I'm going to run it on channel 1. Now you can either do 20 megahertz or 40. I usually do 40 because then I get the full 300 megabytes. 300 megabits per second this router offers. And for ACK timing, I leave it at 0 because I don't really need it. And 0 on Broadcom disables it completely, as you can see right there. We're going to go ahead and save it. For wireless security, if you have even one N device on your network, you want to set it as WPA2 personal with AES algorithm, or else you're going to fall back down to 802.11g speeds, and it has to be 8 characters, so I just put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here I'm going to drop my beacon interval to about 75 just because I have a lot of access points around here. I'm also going to drop my TX power to around 55 due to the fact that I don't need that much power, and it usually drops a lot of errors. Here to the services tab, this is my preference. I disabled DNS and I disabled the traffic. Oh, that's my mistake. I'll do it one more time. And for security, I'm just going to go ahead and disable this SPI. It's really, I recommend it, but you don't have to necessarily do it. But if you have errors, you might want to try that. Up next, I'm going to disable cron. Again, that's my personal preference. You have to disable routing. I run Westwood. It does it at the kernel level, which is usually faster. And I drop these settings on my own preference. And I overclock just because I want to, and I want a little bit more performance out of my E2500. And that's it. Just apply your settings and you're good to go. Just connect a crossover Ethernet cable from your main router to your AP, which you just set up, and you should be good to go. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.